What's up everybody? Welcome back to a short little video today. I can't remember what I've labelled this, but what I want to talk about today is that sometimes there are only shit options to choose from. And we're raised to be in this fairy tale world where there should be a great opportunity for us at any given moment in time, and that there's always a right decision and a wrong decision. And we get really stuck on that idea. And I see this as being one of the number one causes of procrastination, of people not really living their life, is they're waiting for that window of opportunity to do the right thing that will go well and be good. But sometimes, in order to move forward, you have to choose between a range of shit options, and none of them are great. None of them are going to go particularly well for you, none of them are going to be pleasurable, and all of them are going to be some range of painful. Because people don't accept this, because they're kind of assuming in the back of their mind that they're missing some better option, they have to wait until that better option comes along, they end up doing nothing. Now, I've got a little saying, confidence dies in maybe. Maybe is that place between decision and action. It's that place where you're delaying the thing you're doing. And that's the place where your self-worth dies completely. As Cicero says, indecision is worse than wrong decision. You're better off going out there and making a mistake and then dealing with that than you are waiting for the opportunity to do the right thing, most of the time. So there's a spectrum of options. When you're looking in the past, it's what should I have done? A lot of people wait in purgatory while they look over those options. They say, where I'm at now seems to be a range of shit options. What should have I done better in the past? And as you're looking at that and looking over something you have absolutely no control over, you're not doing anything now. And then there's the other range where you look at, what could I do in the future? Maybe on Saturday, if I wait for them to call me back and then I'll call them, that kind of waiting for this perfect time to do it. And there's no action there either, because the future is almost as uncontrollable as the past, particularly because the future is just a fantasy. It doesn't actually exist. And then there's right here and now what you can do with the options in front of you. Think of it kind of like MacGyver, if any of you are old enough to remember that show. Like, no matter what shitty situation he was in, he took whatever was available to him and did the best he could with those resources. And, this guy would make a weapon out of a rubber band, a stick, and a pack of playing cards and get himself out of the kidnapping situation, And not enough people take this approach. They're thinking, what's available in front of me right now, it's not good enough to have, none of them are a good option, so I'm just going to wait for a good option to come along. And because you wait, you miss out completely on anything happening, because nothing good can happen until this obstacle is dealt with. If you focus on the obstacle, this really stoic approach, the obstacle is the way, if you focus on making the best of the shit options available to you, you will eventually bash your way through to the good, pleasurable, fun options waiting for you in that mythical future. Sometimes, in fact often in a human life, the choice isn't between good and bad or right and wrong. The choice is between worse and worser, between shit and even shittier. And there's no movement forward into good or happy or pleasurable until these ones are chosen, until the decision's been made here. What I've realized in my life is that most often my decision is pain now or suffering later. That's really what I'm choosing. I want to use an example for this. A great one where I consider myself to have made the wrong decision was applying for a visa here in Czech Republic. When I first came to Czech Republic, I kept delaying my visa application because it's such a hassle to go through. The bureaucracy here is ridiculous. There's no fun, easy, nice way to apply for a visa here. So I kept putting that off in a subconscious kind of way, kind of waiting for another option to come up, an easy way to apply for a visa. Now, because I didn't take that shit option available to me of applying for it and going through all the hassle, what ended up happening is I got kicked out of the country because I overstayed. And that is far more painful than the hassle of going through a visa. This was 10 times the hassle of that. And looking back now, I can clearly see those were my only two options. I didn't have a third option of an easy way of staying in check. That option was not available. But I could choose between dealing with the hassle now or creating a massive hassle for myself later. And that is 90% of your options. 90% of the choices you have to make are a choice between pain now and massive suffering later. But you're waiting for good now, and that option is not in front of you. There is no good, easy way to start a business. You can either do it now and go through all the hassle and suffering of it, or you can leave it till later when you fucking hate yourself because your job sucks so much and your lifestyle is just terrible and you've built up and compounded the fear of starting a business that it becomes almost impossible to do. Those are your two options. Neither of them are good. Neither of them are great. But one is way worse than the other. So that's all I want to share with you today when it comes to having a confrontation with someone making a big career choice, dealing with your health. Often your choices are between pain now and suffering later. There is no pleasurable option available to you right now. And if that's the case, if you cannot think of a good one right now, then take the least shit one for your long-term future and go with it. Waiting is just a delay from fear. It's just procrastination, and it's not going to bring a more pleasurable option to you. Most of the time, all it's going to do is compound the suffering and reduce even the shitty options to just the terrible ones. Hope that helps. Get in touch with me if you need any help with your decision making, dan@brojo.co.nz, and I'll catch you guys next time.